Welcome to week 2 of Web Design 1, and I'm just going to do a quick flyover of what's due this week, what we'll be working on, and just a few tips on the side. So here we are in Pathwrite, week 2, and you'll see you've got a few more steps this week than last week, and I'll go through these one at a time. First of all, you are right here, Introduction to Week 2, watching this video. The next thing you'll need to do today, before 11 o'clock, is sign up for a group session. So this is the same as last week, basically, to sign up for one of the slots here. And be prepared to answer these 3 questions. How is your final project going? What have you worked on so far? That kind of stuff. Do you have any questions I could help with? These could be code questions or questions about the project itself or anything. And then we'll also go over what's coming next on these group sessions. After that, there is a copywriting exercise. And so basically this will walk you through the process of writing down the most important copy that you'll be using on your website this week. So there are a few text-based inspiration websites here. If you click on these, they'll open up here. And these, what we're building in the first phase of this project is just a text-based website. So I've got a list of those. So here's one, pretty simple, really no fancy images or anything going on. Here's another one. So mostly text kind of document-based websites, and we're going to do a very simple one of these. But I would recommend you click through all of these, check them off, and then pick which ones you liked the most. And then there's a little guide here that will help you, ask you the question, who's your targeted audience, kind of what's a tagline for your personal website or your brand website, whatever you're building, your top 3 things with a brief description, and then links. So where else can we find you? And then I'm also asking about your domain name. Now, you don't have to pick like the final version of your domain name right now, but I would recommend checking. So you can use this link here to check. There's other ways to check as well. Just check to see if yourname.com is available first. I couldn't get .com, so I got .me. My name is pretty generic, but some of you have unique names, and so you probably could get your .com. And if you can do that, I would go for that. There are other creative variations of things you can do. There's a lot of different kinds of top-level domains, so these like dot extensions that you can use. Notice that some of these are using some pretty clever ones, like a warm space, paulo.is, jamie.build. So there are different variations you can do. So I would just recommend brainstorming about that a bit. Again, it doesn't have to be final here. You could always change your mind later. I'm just asking because it is kind of part of how you're presenting yourself in text. All right, up next, this is different. We have some homework this week, and it's kind of like a online textbook that we'll be going through. This shouldn't take very long, but basically you'll be going through 2 lessons here. Let me just pull up the first one. And this is from the Interneting is Hard website, but it doesn't have to be. So this is a good kind of flyover of exactly what's going on with HTML and CSS in a lot more depth than the videos we've been doing. And so this will give you kind of the textbook introduction to these things. So this is the introduction lesson, which you'll be starting with. And he's just explaining, how websites work. It's got some nice diagrams in there, some code examples, how the publishing process works, all these kind of things. So you'll be doing that, which is basically just a written intro. And then this one I'm asking you to follow along with. So it's similar to what we were doing in the videos, but he's asking you to actually build, certain things. So let me actually get to the lesson here. Basic web pages. And so he's got some raw content. He's converting it to HTML, and then he's got a web page, just like we did last week. And what we'll also be doing this week. So again, a more comprehensive description of things. He explains things in a different way than I do, in a different way than everyone else does. It's helpful to hear this stuff from multiple perspectives, to help all this click. So this is just another practice exercise to go through and kind of follow along with what he's doing. And as we do this, you should gain it more and more understanding of what you're dealing with when you're writing your code. All right, so that's the homework. And then after that, there's a brief quiz. So just asking you questions about stuff that you should have read and understood in the article. And then finally, your actual project code. So taking the copy that you built in the previous step, you'll follow a tutorial video, just like we did last week, and build out your personal website. So this video is only 20 minutes long. It shouldn't take too long. It's very simple. We're not really doing anything fancy. If you have any questions, just hit me up on Slack, but you'll basically be making sure you go through this checklist and then pasting your Netlify URL to your website right here. And that is it.